Top 10 Tips for Google Sheets. If you're new to Google Sheets, this will be a great introduction to many of the program's features and capabilities. If you are a Google Sheets veteran, consider this a challenge to see how many of these features you already knew. Number 1. Scrolling tables. Charts are a great way to aggregate data. But when you need to show the supporting table of data next to the chart, the size differences can be drastic. Tables can be hundreds of rows deep, while the chart may only span a dozen or so rows. Scrolling down the table allows us to easily lose focus of the chart, making comparisons difficult. To combat this problem, we can turn our table into a scrolling table chart that will allow us to maintain a small footprint for the table, while providing the ability to scroll through the data without moving down the screen. 1. Select a cell in the original data and press Ctrl+A to select all the data. 2. Select Insert Chart. The offered chart will not be what we need, so we need to change the chart type to Table Chart. This turns the offered column chart into a proper scrolling table chart. We can adjust the size of this chart and place it wherever we need. The final touch would be to move the source data to a separate sheet and likely hide that sheet from the user. Bonus feature: in-chart column sorting. One of the features of the table chart is the ability to click a heading in the chart and sort a column in ascending or descending order. This will sort the data in the table chart without altering the sort order in the source data. This means you could have several table charts pointing to the same source data, but displaying different sorting strategies. Number 2. Aggregate chart values. One of the more frustrating things about creating charts is that most charts want to plot each data point, even when the same data point occurs multiple times. For example, this chart has repeating departments that get plotted separately for each occurrence. If we only want to display each department once and have all sales for that department aggregated, we can select the chart and click Aggregate in the Chart Editor Setup Options panel. We now have a chart where salary is aggregated by department.
Number 3. Publish to the web. With Google Sheets, you can easily create a web page out of your spreadsheet or embed your spreadsheet in an existing website. To do this, select File, then click Publish to the web. You can decide whether to publish the entire document or just a specific sheet to the web. After you click Publish, you will be given a link that you can copy and paste into a web browser. You can also obtain an embed code to use in an existing web page. By publishing to the web, anyone can have access to the spreadsheet, whether they are logged into their Google account or not. If they have a web browser and an internet connection, they can see your data. One of the great things about this feature is that if you change the source data, anyone viewing it in a web browser will receive the changes. No more emailing updated copies of the spreadsheets to everyone, so everyone has the latest information. We can maintain a single version of the truth. If you need to retract the published content, select Published Content Settings and click Stop Publishing.
Number 4. Date from calendar. When you type a date into a cell, you can go back and double-click the cell to bring up the calendar picker tool. If you want this feature applied to empty cells, in anticipation of accepting dates, you can use data validation to force the acceptance of only dates to the cells. Select the cells and click Data Validation. Set the criteria to date and consider setting the On Invalid Data option to reject input. Now you can double-click one of the selected empty cells to reveal the calendar picker tool. This will expedite data entry as well as ensure non-date data can be entered into the cells. Number 5. Pivot tables. To quickly analyze tabular data, select Data, Pivot Table, then select your output location, either a new sheet or somewhere on the existing sheet. You will be delivered an empty shell to accept the logic that will form the pivot table. Sheets presents you with a list of suggested logical constructs by which a quick and dirty pivot table can be made. If you want something tailored more to your needs, you can click the Add buttons to the right of the Rows, Columns, Values, Filters buttons to select a table column to be applied to that logic zone. In the Rows and Columns zones, you can set the sorting method, ascending or descending, as well as by topic or by aggregation. In the Values zone, you can change the aggregation method, sum, average, count, max, min, etc., as well as the display mode, by decimal or by percentage.